everybody. I hope all is well with everybody, and welcome to another edition of Reggae Boys Commentary. This on another Thursday evening. We've been quite consistent with this, haven't we? I think since we began in around late March, we've probably missed one Thursday, and that was sometime in around September. So we've been quite consistent with the Thursdays, haven't we? So, firstly, I must say all the best to each and every single one of you for the new year. All the best to each and every one of you. Really, really appreciate the comments, the opinions that you guys have about Jamaican football, because we certainly want the national team to go places and certainly want them to go extremely far in football. Before we discuss what I'm sure everybody wants to discuss this evening, let me firstly say that we kindly ask you to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary, like the video as well. It really helps. We're very, very close to 7,000 subscribers. 7,000. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's amazing. We began the journey March 2016, prior to that World Cup qualifier against Costa Rica. And look where we are now. Look where we are now. Almost 5 years later. It's quite intriguing, isn't it? It's quite a journey. It has really been quite a journey. So, without further ado, let's go right into the matter, shall we? I know what everybody is going to say, but let me say it. I heard that voice note, that conversation between Damien Lowe and the JFF hierarchy 3 months ago. And before you ask, no, I did not get it from Damien. Secondly, no, I did not spread it to the entire world. And thirdly, let's put it this way. I'm not here to tell you which side you should be on. I'm not here to tell you that you're supposed to support the JFF, and I'm not here to say that you should back the players. Why am I saying this? Why do I have this disposition? Well, it's quite simple. We're in a World Cup qualifying year. We're in January. We are 8 months away from the start of World Cup qualifying. 8 months away. And I'm sure many of you saw that interview with Ricardo Fulla as well on television. That issues like this have been happening for many, many years. And it's true. Even from René Moises' days, there's been challenges. But guess what? We're 8 months away from the qualifiers. And what does that mean? There needs to be unity, not division. So when the players and management meet together, even if they can't see eye to eye on every single thing, they ensure, from the admin perspective, that they're reasonable with the players. And what do the players need to do? Well, quite honestly, their responsibility should be to go on the pitch and execute. Because I know there will be, and there have been many arguments to say that the players stick up the JFF, the players them stick up the JFF, the players them know how much the Saudi Arabian Football Association gave the Jamaica Football Federation. So the national players stick up the Jamaica Football Federation in order to get more. And there's also another argument to say that the players have been on X amount of US dollars per match game for a while now. Even from the days of Ricardo Wildebout Fuller. So I'll tell you this. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot go into a World Cup qualifying cycle and have these challenges. This should be the last thing on the players and the admin's mind. We're 9 victories away from qualifying for the World Cup. We have 14 games in the final round. Yeah? We win 9 games, we're guaranteed a spot in Qatar. 9 games. Per diems, match fees, flights, accommodations, image rights, all of that should be sorted long before the qualifiers. A player, and by extension players, should not be going into a crucial World Cup qualifier against Mexico at the Estadio Azteca hours before kickoff and hearing from the JFF hierarchy, why players, say, we can't agree to this or can't agree to that. We know we don't give you the Gold Cup money yet, but just hear we out. It shouldn't be like that. And I'm going to be balanced with what I have to say about this because international football, you don't get a salary, you get a stipend. And that goes for all international teams. If you look at the big international teams in the world that you want to call right now, the Belgiums, the France, the Englands, the Brazils. Yes, England is a big country. And other clubs and other countries, Argentina. They get a stipend when they play international football. And what do most of those star players do? They give their international football money to charity. Yeah. Wayne Rooney, David Villa, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, they give all of their international stipend to charity and they live off what they earn for their clubs. So the clubs gives you your salary. The country, it's about heart, passion, desire, love of country. That's what country is all about. Yeah, also quality as well. I'm not telling a player what he should do with his money. I'm not even saying that players are being too demanding because the figures that you heard about, in my eyes, are quite reasonable to what is being given even in UEFA countries. Because I can even say in countries such as Scotland, such as Wales, such as Portugal, it's in a similar region, a few hundred US dollars shy of being the same. So where the specific fee is concerned, it's not unreasonable. But what I will say is that international football is not your bread and butter. International football is about your love for your country. I'm born and raised here, me can wake up tomorrow morning and play for the country. Or you have a man like Mariapa, Hector, Lee, Ravel, who were born to Jamaican parents, grew up with a Jamaican culture, grew up eating oxtail and rice and peas every Sunday, grew up eating ackee and saltfish and plantain and breadfruit for breakfast twice, 3 times a week. Come here to Jamaica every striking summer, and they have so much love in their hearts for the country. International football should not be viewed in the same light as club football. And there's something else that's been discussed about contracts and this and that. While a contract helps, I think as time goes on, World Cup qualifying friendlies, you have to take things at a step-by-step basis. You want to get things done in a timely and punctual manner, but at the same time, what you need to do is to analyze things in different scenarios. For an example, in international football, it's not like club football where you have the same players week in, week out. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have suspensions. You're going to have players that lose form. You're going to have players that passport expire and you can't call them up. You're going to have players that don't have their passport yet. What I mean is that every international break, I promise you, you will see a player drop out, you will see a player get injured, you will see a new player into the squad. So it might mean that you're going to have different contracts for different people or different contracts for different tournaments and matches. Gold Cup might be different from World Cup qualifying. But if we don't get all of this organized, then I'm sorry, but Qatar could be just a dream if we don't do what we need to do. Even with all the quality on the pitch, even with Andre Gray, even with Liam Moore, even with Ivan Toney, even with Isaac Hayden, even with Damari Gray, even with Mason Holgate and others. You could get the creme de la creme quality. If they're not all in union, if they're not all on the same page, it's not going to work. So, we know what the administrators have to do, don't we? The players know what they need to do on the pitch. So, the coaching staff has to ensure that they prepare them in a manner now where for every opposition, they're prepared. And there's things I could say about the coaching staff, but I could leave that for another day. Yeah, I'll leave that for another day because it's not worth the time and energy to speak about that matter right now. But I think you all understand where I'm headed with this. And I hope you understand what I've said. Look, I'm an individual that has traveled with a team different times. Copa America, Caribbean Cup, friendly international against Chile in 2016. I've been to every single home match at the office since 2003. Every home match we've played at the office since 2003. March 2003 against Martinique. So what I tell you, I speak facts alone. So I'm a trustworthy and credible individual. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments now. I'll take it from there. Wayne Carnegie says, big up. Big up. DJ Ross says, Rolanda Aarons gets a new club. Yes, I tweeted about it earlier. Rolanda Aarons is going to Huddersfield Town. He's left Newcastle United in the northeast of England, and he has now joined Huddersfield Town in West Yorkshire. Championship club, an environment where he's going to get playing time, an environment where he is going to get minutes, and as soon as he's able to rack up the goals and assists, you can only imagine that will breed confidence into him, and this is exactly what he needs. There was supposed to be a deal for him in the summer of 2020 for him to Huddersfield, but the deadline shut on him before this could happen. But I'm really grateful that he is in a position now where he's at a club and he has a deal until 2023. So it's a 3.5-year deal. So you could say it's essentially long term for him. So really delighted, and hopefully he'll be able to aid Huddersfield Town to some sort of success in the near future, including promotion. Red Bull 876, big up. I watch your show. You post most of the time live, but thank you very much. Jordan McDowell, I think JFF really running a patty shop. Well, patty shop sells patties as far as I'm aware. When I go JFF, I don't get patties. I get water. RTS vibes. JFF in the wrong, unprofessional about Patty Shop. One way says Damien, you think Pat is a patty shop we're running? Damien is head of state. Come on, guys. Why you think I called Damien Low head of state for the last 3 months? Take a hint, no man. Come on. Patty Show is a very prophecy business corner league de Maron. Damien McGregor says bonjour. Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à notre émission à YouTube. Je m'appelle Simon et l'émission, il s'appelle Reggae Boys Commentary. Oui, je parle français, anglais, l'espagnol et beaucoup plus. One way. Well, we can't say that Jamaica is about love. Not at all. Burrell DXN. JFF now give the ball of them enough. I guess it depends how you want to interpret that. O'Carty says, the thing is, Simon, the players have no passion for the country. They only come to play for the money. I think some have the passion. I think some genuinely have the passion. I've seen some come through the system, though, that just want to come in the dressing room, take selfies, post on Instagram, get 5,000 likes and up their followers. Some individuals, I'll say that, but for the most part, I would say most do love their country. Bravo Rage Squadron. McCarthy, it's not like that. 2,000 US is not worth risking injury and the long flights. Most of these players make much more than that per week. You see, Bravo, if a player gets injured on international duty, then the JFF would have to take care of the expense, not the club. So JFF was in a tough situation when Naira Nosworthy tore his ACL in 2013 at the National Stadium against Panama. You know how... Was he at Watford at the time? I think he was at Watford at the time, you know. Watford were disappointed. I think it was Watford. Yeah, I think it was Watford. Watford were disappointed. JFF money a joke thing to demand them money that them get overseas. I don't know what you just said there. Red Bull 876. The office needs a renovation and you should be part of JFF when it complete as a scout. I appreciate your compliment, sir. Thank you very much. The National Stadium was actually supposed to renovate this year and to be upgraded to a 40,000 seater stadium with much more first class facilities, including a media center end. So it's supposed to be a 40,000 seater stadium, but plans have been set back slightly because of the pandemic. So those plans look set to take place perhaps after the Boys and Girls Championships. O'Shane Gray. One time the players play for love, and two, go to pick for a club side to get started paid. Yeah, as I said, club football is where you get paid. Even if the JFF said tomorrow morning that Damian Lowe, you'll never play for Jamaica again, it's not going to affect him because he already has his money put down. Yeah, I understand that some way because the average baller in the local Premier League is taking home $300 a month. And you can work that out into Jamaican dollars, how much that is. So for them, the 2,000 US or 1,500 US will feel like a decent change. It'll feel like that. But it's up to their agent to find them a club overseas. Shedrock Mackenzie. Well, I'm not sure if you tuned in to the live last week, but what I said was that Liam Moore has his Jamaican citizenship, so it's the final step before he can receive a Jamaican passport. The process for Andre Gray and Kemar Roof are also in the finishing stages as well, and that's about it where that is concerned. Any transfer on any other player? Gregory Lee signed a new contract at Aberdeen. Sean McFarlane is now at Miami FC. Havana Salone is at North Carolina Courage until 2021 with the option of extending it a further year. So, where players are concerned, that's about that. Do you think Mark McKenzie will do well at Genk? I think so. Jamai Chelsea UK says London City. I guess that means that you're from London. Alright. Big up. Top 10. Saw Ravel telling Rolando to do what he has to do because World Cup qualifying is soon. Sounds like it well on Ravel's mind, which I like that he's concentrating on. Well, yeah, as you guys know, Rolando was actually born in Jamaica, so his process should be quite simple because he actually left Jamaica when he was migrating to England on a Jamaican passport. So to renew the passport is not going to take him long. In fact, I believe he actually has a Jamaican passport. He has a Jamaican passport, so he's good to go. Eddie Guna says big up, and I say big up. Can the JFF start a GoFundMe account? They have the ability to. Will they do it? That's a different question. That's a good idea. That negotiation should have stayed behind closed doors. We don't need the drama. Well, guess what? Damien did not record it, and none of the JFF administrators recorded it. So, who recorded it? Your guess is as good as mine. What's our first match in the Gold Cup? That will be revealed in March. How is Topi's negotiations? With Topi, it's an interesting one because there's been some interest that has come out of him in terms of interest in Canada. So we await to see if Canada is where he will go. Any news where Devon Williams, Junior Flemings, and Alvis Paul going? Absolutely not. Any chance Lowe is binned by JFF? I think it's possible. I don't think it will happen, but I think it's possible. Yeah. I wouldn't say bin, but a slap on the wrist or a fine or suspended for 2 friendlies, something like that. Adam McGregor, big up, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. Thank you very much for tuning in, man. All the way from the diaspora. Big up, boss. So, yeah. Well, where Topi's concerned, there is interest in the Canadian Premier League, and interest in Scandinavia has cooled for him, so it's a bit more intense in North America. The Scandinavian clubs right now, it's an intriguing scenario because they're concentrating. I don't know if you'd call this time post-pandemic, but it's a during pandemic. This during pandemic time, they're focusing most on their homegrown players. Norwegian League, Norwegian players. Finnish League, Finnish players. Swedish League, Swedish players. Danish League, Danish players. So it's like that. Nordic, Iceland, Icelandic players. Did Tony get his stuff? Topi hasn't started anything. Jamaican Minister of Sports, Babsy Grange. Minister of Health is not Charles. I went to school with Charles. Christopher Tufton. Long time the league should start. Boy, to be quite frank, I don't think the National Premier League will get going till around mid-February, mid to late February. JFF need to step up their game. We all know that, don't we? Devon Williams signed for Miami. I didn't know that. I'll do my research on it, but I know for a fact that Sean McFarlane is at Miami, but that's an excellent news. Any news on Peter Lee Vassell? Absolutely not. JFF need to have a structure. If the players don't want what they're offering, them can go chuck off. I think that World Cup qualifying figures, friendly figures, and Gold Cup figures should be different. But I agree with the that there has to be some sort of incentive that the GFF has to give the players. Like, if there's a win, there's a win bonus, a 10% win bonus. If you make the bench, you get a bonus this because you might call up 23 man, but only 7 subs, so you're having an 18-man squad. So if you make the bench, a bench bonus. If you win, if you score a goal, you make an assist. You get little bonuses like that. The defense, if they get a clean sheet, you get bonuses there. So there's opportunities to exploit in that department. Is Kemarov committed? If you mean committed in the sense like he's doing what he needs to do to get a passport, then yeah. Would you say it's links why Caribbean players don't go to Europe? Because it seems pretty easy for Africans and South Americans. I wouldn't say links. I would say demand. Any news on Lamar Walker? Nope. Adam McGregor, Alvas Powell is no longer with Miami FC. Is there another club that might want him or he is speaking to? Well, there is interest a league below, which is in the United Soccer League. But I believe for a player of Alvas's ability, he still has what it takes to play in MLS. But for me personally, if I was him, I would explore opportunities in Europe if I was Alvas Powell. But I think he's surveying what there is around the MLS. But there is interest in the United Soccer League. So if nothing pops up between now and March, then certainly the United Soccer League will certainly grab onto him. 2 hands. Yeah, the JFF needs sponsors, and who does that fall on? The marketing department, and also the general secretary and the president, in terms of speaking with corporate. So for me, the marketing department. As soon as Sophia Harris departed, I don't know, but the sponsors just dropped one by one. Well, that marketing door has just been like a revolving door. Garth Savory, Sophia Harris. It's just been. Ian Campbell, Jamaica needs Hayden badly or some other defensive midfielder. That is our main area of concern. I agree that is our absolute main area of concern. I am extremely concerned about this area. Although Daniel Johnson can do a job there, I feel more comfortable with him a bit higher in midfield. Yeah, Romario Williams scored last week, Saturday, for the club. Brilliant goal, running around the goalkeeper in a 2-1 victory, scoring deep into stoppage time. So good move for him. And they also drew today. That is Al Ittihad Alexandria. They drew 1-1 today. Damian Lowe returned from injury as well. The next GFF election will be in the year 2023. Love that Kemar Lawrence start getting game at his club in Belgium. I agree. Shamar Gordon, I think they should have a combine to scout more talent in Jamaica as soon as the virus is handled. Well, the MLS has a combine in Jamaica, and I think that still could happen even now during this time. Adam McGregor, I think Alvas Powell, might not want to go down to USL, so he should really look to Europe. Yeah, to be quite frank, it's an intriguing one because Alvas Powell, he got married recently, got married to an American, quite comfortable. His wife has been an absolute rock for him, and I think personally that he's quite comfortable living in the United States, and for that matter in North America by extension. So I don't think he would have a problem going to another state and playing. I don't want him to go to USL at all. And although my hope is that he will go to Europe, I just have a feeling that either he will go to MLS or go to Canada. Any news on Darren Mattocks? No. RTS vibes. Why is it hard for us to have our players go to Europe and we're in the top 50? Yeah, we're in the top 50, but as far as the but we haven't averaged. It was November when we started to average 50 over the past 18 months to 2 years. And in addition to that, the the other challenge is, of course, the virus. The virus has made clubs think about what they have inside of the club versus what is outside of the club. So that has been a challenge in itself. So the clubs have been thinking about what can I produce from my academy instead of going out and spend 1 million euros, half a million euros on a player. Eddie Guna says we need to get back Miss Harris. Boy, Eddie, I don't think she's going to be interested at all. She didn't leave on the best of terms. She didn't leave on the best of terms with the JFF, to be honest with you. And she was quite frustrated because she just felt that the company was not going in the direction that she wanted. What about Greg Lee for DM? I don't mind for one game, but for 3 World Cup qualifiers in a row, no. But if it's a one game thing, fine. One game. But not consecutive games in World Cup qualifying. Where is Jamaica ranked in the world now? 47. Jamaica's ranked 47. Just saw Fisher and Vassell working in the gym together. What's next for them? Well, Fisher got released recently from DC. I believe they're staying fit for trials in North America. Sports down the middle says, Hail Simon, big up. Big up, boss. Hope you all are well. Miss Harris was doing a lot of work. Chippies, she made that thing. The car companies, she got that deal together. Amongst the brand Reggae Football, she put all of that together. The website, she put all of that together. JFF Live, that was her idea. Absolutely. Alfred Hines, Simon, is the camp in England still on for March due to the rise in the virus? I'm going to check on that for you. I'm going to check on it because I know England right now is in a very fragile state. But as you know, England is in lockdown until mid-February. So things can change at the end of February and things can be easier in England. So as it stands, it's still on. But I think a firmer decision on if that camp will go on will be at the end of February. But England's lockdown right now is until the end of February. And I personally think the lockdown will gradually bring down the daily rise in cases. Although it's going to be at a much slower rate compared to the first lockdown in March, it's still going to be at a slower rate in England. Khadija Shaw to Liverpool? No. According to French reporters, it's either Lyon, PSG, or Manchester United, but who knows who else could enter the ring before that time, So let's see. I guess Hector will have to do the job at defensive midfield. Yes, if Hayden is not ready, Hector will have to do the job. It's simple as that. I wonder if Tanya Lee would like to take over from Harris. Well, Harris is no longer there. But in terms of Tanya Lee working at the JFF, I don't know if they could afford her, to be honest with you. I don't know. Hold on. I'm just getting Eddie Guna is from Sports on the Middle too. Yeah, big up Eddie. Yeah, man, big up. Yeah, but you're right. We certainly do need somebody who can carry on from her, for sure. Defensive midfield is a specialist position. You can't play anyone there. Exactly, you can't. So somebody has to just be somebody who's proficient in that area in particular. Eddie Guna says, what I was glad to hear is that Lowe and Co. wants to remain top 50 and qualify. That's a lot of incentives for them. Yeah, absolutely. FIFA gives, we know, $8 million US just for qualifying. So that right there is massive. And we know the players are looking forward to getting their piece of the pie from that. So here is what I think, what I've said before about Hector. You see, when it comes to playing Central American teams away, Costa Rica away, Panama away, Honduras away, El Salvador away, Hector for me, central midfield, holding midfield, because they're going to try pass the ball. And with his long legs and with his physicality, I think he can be that person that can not only protect the back four, but stop the passing lanes of the attack of the Central American teams. However, when we play against North American teams, USA, Canada, and even if we play Caribbean teams in the final round, Curacao, Trinidad, Hector will be better at central defense in those games. So I think we have to be quite strategic of when and where to use Hector. There's a time and a place to use him in either position. If you ask me where I feel more comfortable playing him, then it's holding midfield. That's where I feel more comfortable playing him. But like I said, there's a game where Hector should play at centre half for me, and there are games where he should play as a holding midfield. I know he's not outstanding in both, but he is still better than what we have here. And don't judge the performances that you've seen club-wise and think that they're going to be replicated for country, because it's two different ball games. He might be up against Lacazette in England, but he's up against Gino van Kessel in World Cup qualifying. And I'm sure half of you don't know who Gino van Kessel is. Look him up, Gino van Kessel. Adrian Adman, big up man. Say, Diamond, is it just marketing only or down to leadership? PFJL seems to show otherwise. It depends what you're referring to in terms of the actual league itself, or if you're referring to JFFs and their sponsors to fund their 11 national teams. Women's, men's, the youth teams, under 17, under 20, under 17, the under 15 for both boys and girls, the beach soccer team, the futsal team, the Olympic teams, right? So sponsors to cover all of those national teams. So for me, it's leadership of the JFF and also the admin. Where the Premier League is concerned, that's a separate ball game. I'm just speaking for the national team's perspective. We have a Gold Cup in a couple of months. We have World Cup qualifying in a couple of months. Do you know how much fixtures we could play this calendar year? If we go to the Gold Cup final, that's 6 games, yeah? You on the same page with me? Good. Plus 3 games in September, 3 games in October, and 2 games in November. What's 8 plus 6? 14. Let's assume we play 1 game in March. We're playing 15 games this calendar year. 15 games. Have to get the ball rolling. Have to. That's a priority. I would like you to do a prediction video for the World Cup, as in who's going to win it. I always predict who is going to win the World Cup in the year of the tournament. So if you remember, I was on the panel 2018 World Cup. I said France would win it from day one. 2014, I said Germany would win it from day one. 2010, I said Spain would win it from day one. 2006, I said Italy would win it. And if you check the archives, you would see I even predicted the exact score in the final. 1-1 Italy versus France, and penalty kicks 5-3. I predicted that too. So yeah. Ethan Pinnock, yes. Good player. Good player. Not on the radar, but good player. Gino Van Kessel won't be a threat. It will be because it will be the Bakuna boys and Elson Hoy. Let me tell you something about Gino. Gino find a way to get space past Jamaica. I saw this guy in the Caribbean Cup final. He might not be the guy that scores the goals, but he's going to be the guy that gives the ball to Bakuna and Elson Hoy and company. Put it that way. Simon, what are your expectations for Suriname in the Gold Cup, in our group for the Gold Cup? Expectations? Play 3 games? Got them yard. But if they get all their Eredivisie players together, then they could challenge to get to the quarterfinals. Do you think the Nations League and the Gold Cup hurt teams like the USA and Mexico from playing more competitive games? Yeah, they've said that already too. They've said that already. Eddie Gunnar, as long as JFF sort out the money part, I'm confident the players will do well. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so. Do you expect Van Aanholt and Gertruda to represent Curacao? Not both, probably one of them. Fuller said in his interview that each and every time the Reggae Boys have terrible negotiations where money is concerned and they concede 6 to 9 goals. Yeah, I remember that friendly in 1999 against Costa Rica, the 9-0, and I remember that trip to England in 2006, the 4-1 from Ghana, and 3 days later the 6-0 from England at Old Trafford. Yeah, I still have mixed feelings about that game, to be honest with you. But yeah, you can see it, hands on the wall, you can see it right there. The 8-0 to France in 2014, also there as well. But do you think Gus Hiddink took the Curacao job to sit on the beach in his old age? He's getting paid well, but I think he looked at this as a challenge to get another team to the World Cup. South Korea as a host, of course. The Netherlands, the country of his birth. Curacao. No. So, interesting times ahead, I tell you. What I would like to tell you guys is that in another 20 minutes from now is the TVJ Sports Year in Review, and you get to see the top footballing stories from the calendar year, the Junior Flemings saga, amongst many other footballing stories. So I kindly ask you to check that out at 8:30 p.m. Jamaica time, the Sports Year in Review on TVJ. So you can check that out in approximately another 20 minutes from now on TVJ. Sports Year in Review for 2020. All right? So do check and look out for that. Really appreciate it very much so. How's the process of Jamaican finding a holding midfielder? Well, we're hoping to get Hayden. So let's hope that it becomes a reality quite soon. All right, Reggae Boys fans, I appreciate you tuning in to Reggae Boys commentary. I really appreciate it this evening. Thank you very much for all your support each and every single Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys commentary. We're on almost 7,000 subscribers. Really appreciate it. Very close. So help me as we get into the new year with a lot of subscribers. I know everybody tuning in from all across the globe, from the States, from Canada, from England, from Asia, from Africa, to every continent of the globe except Antarctica. I've seen people tune in. So thank you very much for your love and support. Big up to everybody tuning in for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, Adam, I'll work on that for sure. If you go on onespotmedia.com, the number 1, followed by spotmedia.com. If you type it in, you should be able to see it live. The number 1, followed by spot, S-P-O-T, media.com, and bam, you should be there. Yeah. And then you click on TVJ and bam, you'll be able to see the live stream, onespotmedia.com, and you're good. But yeah, once I get the full copy tomorrow, and if you still need it, then I'll send it for you for sure, Adam. Just give me a reminder, and if you don't catch it this evening, then certainly I'll be able to either email it or find another way to send it to you. But enough respect, same way. Yeah, man. No problem. We'll be in touch for sure, Adam. Big up yourself. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have a good evening. Continue to stay safe. Respect Adman for tuning in as well. Yeah, it's tough, but one day at a time. Things will fall into place in due time. Guys, if you're going on the road, wear your mask. If you're traveling, do the same as well. Just be safe. We're doing a decent job in Jamaica. Let's keep it that way, okay? Let's keep it that way. As you can see, recoveries are going up, so that's an outstanding thing to do. Big up, Eddie. So, guys, as I said, in another 15 minutes, sports year in review on TVJ. All right, guys? And you can follow me on Twitter at SimyP93. Any questions you have about players or movement, and follow me on Instagram as well at Simon.Preston. All right? Simon.Preston on Instagram. All right? So thanks very much. Stay safe. We'll be in touch. All right, guys.